Do you want to be a skilled embedded software engineer? If so, you're in the right place. What is up, tech learners? Welcome back, and today I need to tell you something. Nowadays, you know more than me. As engineers, software engineers, embedded software engineers, any software engineer, they need to have an extra skill, which is learning how to learn by yourself. And that is because the market always is changing, new features is arriving, technology is evolving all the time, and we need to follow all these changes, and we need to adapt to this dynamic changes of the market. And thinking about that, I have here 7 steps to learn embedded software by yourself. The 7th, it is where most embedded software engineers take it for granted. So stay with me to the end and let's see which are these 7 steps to learn embedded software by your own. So I've been doing these steps for a couple of years, so you can all do it as well. So let's dive into it. 1. Mentally prepare. Yes, it's all about mindset. So when you start learning by yourself, you're going to face a new world. You don't have helps. Well, actually you can have, but I will explain it later. But when you start to learn by yourself, chances are high that you're going to face adversities and you're going to make mistakes. Because when you learn by yourself, it's different when you learn with a mentor. There's know how to guide you, have a guidance, etc. When you're learning by yourself, you are your own guide, so it makes things more difficult and challenging. But you need to have this mindset of an attitude, positive mind. So it's scientifically proved that when you have a positive attitude, the chances that you take massive action, it is high. And it is really important here on this journey is action. And also you need to have patience, persistence, consistency, and everything together. So that's why you need a mindset shifted to success, that I'm going to do this and it's going to work. 2nd, learn the fundamentals. So think logically with me. Can you build something, a building, a house, a structure, without having a solid base? I don't think so. That's why most fresh embedded software engineers make mistakes here, because they are trying to learn first the sophisticated things and they forgot about the basic things. What I recommend is to mastering the basics. So you need to master the basics. Once you have to master the basics, you can make your way up to more advanced topics. So what is the mastering basic thing that you need to know? This is digital logic, programming, algorithmic data structures, pointer manipulations, etc. Knowing how a processor does arithmetic, how a processor processes data, how does it communicate with the memory, how does it communicate with peripherals, all this basic stuff that is really low level, that can help you predict in the future the behavior of larger systems. Because when you know what happens in a low level layer, you can understand most of the bugs and behaviors that you might encounter during this system. 3, practice regularly. You need to turn practicing embedded software into a habit. It means scheduling time just for practicing. And I'm not talking about studying. Studying needs to be another time. You need to schedule time just to practicing without studying, just to trying to build something. And that's what I do in my routine. I always schedule X hours per week of practicing and trying to do something with some project, some small project, etc. And actually what this does is practicing consistently during a long period of time that will consolidate your learning and make you really experienced. 4. Use online resource. Well, you know more than me that thanks to internet today we have an arsenal of free content over the internet. As good as it might seem, there is a bad point on this topic, because with this overloading of information, it's controversial, but when you get this overload of information, it's so much information to process that you get paralyzed. You don't know which information to pick, which is true, which is not. Here's my advice for you. You pick a concept or a topic you want to learn. You're going to take only 3 resources about it. It can be websites, forums, tutorials, etc. If you doubt of the veracity of the content, you can just ask a question in a forum and see if it's true or not, etc. etc. So you can use these online resources to ask questions as well, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this next topic. But you need to use the online resources in your favor so you can maximize your learning experience. Get help whenever you need to. And this part of getting help leads me to the next topic, which is 5. You need to join a community. Yes, this is mandatory. I mean, I should have put this topic in the first topic because I think it's one of the most important topics of these steps. What tells you if you learn something or not is not your projects in your practicing, but more than that is your feedback you can ever get into something you do. Because when you build a project, you can't be 100% sure if it's good or not, or even if it's good, correct, if you can improve or not, because you are by your own. And using this advice of joining a community that will give you a broader vision about your learning, because you'll be having people that are more experienced than you, that have done it before what you're doing. They can help you and provide you feedback, and feedback is one of the most important things you can ever have in your lives. It's important for control systems, it's important to machine learning, it's important to our learning as well. 6. Build simple project first. What I see is when you start to learn something, you really get excited about it, and what you want to do is to see if you really learn it or not, is to take really complex projects to do, and you can't finish it, or you can't do, and it gets you frustrated. And I read once somewhere that the best projects is the ones you finished. So as you are in your beginning and you are learning by your own, the simple projects are the best, because it's more likely that you can finish them. So start with simple projects. It can be just blinking in LED, doesn't matter. What is important that you are applying what you're learning from your study, and you are being able to see how the system works. I mean, the internal data flow of your program, how it communicates with your microcontroller, etc, etc, etc. And the 7, finally, the last one and the most important, I think, together with the number 5, it is learn from your mistakes, learn from your failure. As I mentioned in the beginning, failure is inevitable in this journey of learning, because when you're going to learn something new, you need to try something new to make sure you're learning. And when you try something new, you are trying something you didn't know before. This implies that chances are high that you make a mistake sometime, and it's pretty normal. But what most people do is they quit as soon as they make mistakes, and the more mistakes they get, the more they want to quit. But it should be the contrary. The more mistakes you do, the more you are capable of learning by those mistakes. So it means stopping, analyzing these mistakes, how to fix these mistakes, and how to not repeat them and not replicate them. for your future. And that's how you can have the best learning experience with these steps. Thank you, as always, thank you for watching. I hope this video was useful or helpful somehow for you. And also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and the notification button so you'll never miss any of my next contents. Last but not least, if you have any question or any suggestions about specific topics that you want a video about it, please also leave a comment below, and I'll consider making content about it. So happy learning.